If you look at a map of Sheffield, it is easy to assume you are looking at a single, continuous city. But on the ground, the landscape tells a different story. Carved out by 5 steep river valleys, this terrain actually divides the city into a mosaic of 147 distinct neighborhoods. Those natural ridges and valleys originally helped forge tight-knit, resilient villages. Today, however, that same geography reinforces isolation. It creates systemic gaps between local communities, feeding a very modern crisis of disconnection. People here genuinely want to solve local problems. They want to fix the park, support a neighbor, or clear a blocked path. But the sheer scale of the wider city feels overwhelming, and the digital tools we rely on to organize were never built to cross these physical divides. We have lacked the infrastructure needed to link the massive potential trapped inside these isolated pockets. That is the primary barrier preventing individual desire from becoming collective action. Traditional social media operates like an extraction machine. It runs on a deficit model, constantly scanning for what is broken or enraging. It harvests that outrage to keep users passively seated, scrolling endlessly in isolation. A local initiative called Project Ignite is offering an alternative. They built 7 Hills, a platform designed as a digital common land that completely discards the machine metaphor. The operating premise here is that Sheffield already holds all the wealth, skills, and tools it needs to thrive. The platform does not try to manufacture community from scratch. It simply tilts the floor, making local collaboration the path of least resistance. You can see this shift in how the system measures success. Instead of dropping likes and views into a stagnant pool of attention, 7 Hills strictly measures horizontal agency. It tracks the pledges and joins that actually turn the gears of a real-world project. It refuses to trap relationships behind a screen. It operates strictly as a launchpad, coordinating people digitally so they can step out and do the work in the real world. When you join 7 Hills, you immediately encounter a strict limitation. The system outright bans uploaded profile pictures and personal bios, eliminating the subtle biases of age, race, or digital performance. Instead, you meet the Socratic concierge. This AI guide walks you through a short conversational onboarding to figure out what real-world capacities and gifts you can bring to your neighbors. As you answer, the system analyzes your responses and generates your civic mark. This interface derives one of the Sheffield 12 animal archetypes based on your skills, assigning you the identity of the grafter badger if you are the reliable one who shows up to work unseen. Your digital identity is entirely defined by your capacity to help. You are seen by your community for what you can do, rather than how you curate your image. Once inside, you enter the Commons. This is a localized notice board for neighborhood projects, and you will quickly realize the like button has been entirely erased. If you see a local initiative, you have exactly 2 choices. You can stand by to offer tangible physical support, or you can ignite the project and take the lead yourself. That bias toward action extends to the Treasury tab, an asset-based exchange for sharing tools and time. As this flowchart shows, the system requires an offer input before access is granted to request a tool or a skill from the community. Before you can borrow a power drill or ask for gardening advice, you have to state what you are bringing to the table in return. These embedded structural frictions ensure that every user interaction naturally deposits value into the neighborhood, building a self-sustaining local economy of mutual aid. When a project gets enough pledges, it leaves the public feed and drops directly into a tab called My Impact. This acts as a personal site office for your active commitments. My Impact strips away all the social noise. It focuses exclusively on the logistics of reliability, ensuring that members actually keep the promises they made to their neighbors. To bridge the final gap, a feature called Gathering Point steps in. Rather than trapping the crew in an endless group chat, it coordinates a precise physical meetup at a verified community anchor. This is where the digital architecture meets the pavement. Neighbors leave their screens behind and converge safely in person to roll up their sleeves and get to work. The entire ecosystem is engineered for this exact moment. The platform achieves its purpose the second you no longer need to look at it. When the work is done, the project does not vanish into an algorithmic void, nor is it scored on a leaderboard to farm global applause. Instead, the record moves to the Pulse. This serves as the platform's internal civic memory layer, safely archiving completed missions as verifiable city wins. As this vector ledger shows, those completed project blocks are stacked securely inside a delineated neighborhood boundary. Strict consent rules keep these reflections shielded from the external internet, explicitly rejecting the surveillance and public ranking of normal networks. The Pulse builds a permanent, evidence-based history of a neighborhood's capability. It proves to the people living there that their small, localized actions accumulate into lasting physical change. Underneath the code, this is an exercise in contributive justice. It shifts the focus from what residents are given to ensuring every person is empowered to offer their own gifts to the city. Seven Hills is the operational delivery system for that philosophy. It takes abstract empathy and structures it into a daily, measurable practice. The digital common land is now open across Sheffield. The infrastructure is built, tested, and ready for those willing to step up and use it. Claim your civic mark and help build the common land. Community power is at its strongest when we finally step away from the